All right, it's around the ring, and you know what time it is? It's time to talk about wrestling on Around the Ring.
Jesus, are you like auditioning for a ring announcer?
Maybe.
That was actually kind of good. I liked it. That's brought some. What I really loved is the uber high energy, right to I'm almost dead energy, like that.
It is time for us to talk about stuff. Okay.
Hey, the show was not bad. So
Yeah. So this is Around the Ring. We are on episode number 285.
only took 13 years.
Only took 13 years to get there. That's right. And I am one half of your team, Steve, and with me, of course, is Dave. How's it going, Dave?
Good. I lost you for a second there, so sorry about that. Yeah, it's going all right. Looking forward to talking about this show and about Dynamite and the follow up.
Yeah, we'll have a little bit to say about Dynamite. So main topic, of course, we're going to be basically the only time we really do we're planning to do these is after AEW pay-per-views. So we just had one, Double or Nothing, and holy Jesus, it was a long one.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I don't I swear I watched it last year. I had to. I don't remember it being that long.
It might not have been. This one was extra super bloated. I don't remember what was on last year's Double or Nothing either. Let me see if I can find that.
Yeah.
So we had, let's see, the headline Blackpool Combat Club against the Elite in an Anarchy in the Arena match. MJF beat Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Oh yeah, that was the 4-way, the Pillars match.
Yeah. I don't think it was that long.
Yeah, no. Now, I mean, it was 11 matches.
Still, I just.
So here's the thing. I know when AEW had 4 pay-per-views a year, it made sense to make these shows, feel as extra as humanly possible and put as much crap on them. We're now almost having monthly pay-per-views. Please stop. Please.
That's what I was thinking. Because we've got Forbidden Door in June, All In August, All Out in September, something called Wrestle Dream in October, Full Gear in November, World's End in December.
Yeah.
So they're basically doing one a month, and that's
right.
Kind of ridiculous.
There's no reason to have a 12-match show. Now that includes the 2 matches on the pre-show from this year. That's stupid. Let's, I mean, as we go through this, I will tell you the ones I think, okay, that should have just been on Dynamite. So that'll be something as we talk about going throughout the show. So did you watch the pre-show?
I did watch the pre-show.
All right.
And I gotta say, okay, so one of the matches I actually enjoyed, but it felt to me like the bulk of this pre-show was, I was just not crazy about listening to Renee and Jeff Jarrett and what's his faces. I don't remember his name. They're jibber jabber in the pre-show. It was like, understandably, it was all set up for Double or Nothing, but it was like, I don't want to hear you talk about it.
So there seem to be 2 types of pre-shows. There are the pre-shows that have a couple of matches, but then a bunch of people sitting at a table talking.
That's what it was.
Or you've got the kind that are just match after match after match.
Yeah, no, this was jibber jabber for most of the time.
Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need that. I would rather have a bunch of great matches. Hell, in fact, you could have taken a good chunk of this card and just stuck that on the pre-show, and I would have been good.
Yeah, pretty much. So the first match on the pre-show was Thunder Rosa versus Deonna Purrazzo. I enjoyed this match. I gotta say, and obviously we're going to have a lot of opinions, but in my own humble opinion, these 2 are both like some of the best, two of the best female wrestlers out there today.
I'm not going to argue with you. I think they're both great.
And it was a great match. Diana won, or Diana, sorry. So yeah, it was a good match. Regular pay-per-view quality.
I mean, it is a pre-show.
It was better than some of the main matches on the card. But yeah, it was good. It was good. The other match on the pre-show was the Acclaimed versus Cage of Agony, which Cage of Agony is Brian Cage, Toa Liana, and Bishop Khan. Whatever the hell they are.
They're the tag team, the Gates of Agony.
Gates of Agony. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was Cage of Agony.
Well, when Brian Cage joins them and they're going as a trio, they're the Cage of Agony.
So there you go. That's how much I know about this team. I know who Brian Cage is, and that's it. Don't hate me, people out there, but this was a boring match. The highlight of this entire match was Matt Caster's pre-match rap.
What did he? I haven't seen this. So did he have any good lines or anything controversial that he mentioned?
I wouldn't say controversial, but he did jab at the other tag team quite a bit. So it was Max Caster doing his thing.
Well, that's good. He can be real hit and miss.
Yeah. But yeah, the match itself was just okay.
All right. Well, I will not bother to go see that. Let's jump into the main show. Show opens up with the international title match. Will Ospreay challenging Roderick Strong, who came to the ring with Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. And I've got to say, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, I love together as a tag team. Back in the day, I remember watching them in Ring of Honor, and they were so good. They were like stupidly good. And yeah, it's a shame that they haven't been used
properly.
Yeah, but I mean, you could say that about at least 30% of this poor roster. So okay,
Tony's got his bitten off more than he can chew.
The nice thing about that, though, is when someone goes down, there's a laundry list of people who you can plug right in and just elevate.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
So yeah, Will Ospreay comes out, biggest pop of the night. Well, it's either the biggest pop or the second biggest pop. And I got to say, Will Ospreay fucking rules. He is easily my favorite wrestler going today.
Oh, he's amazing. There's nobody who can touch him right now.
Yeah. And the connection he has with the crowds.
Yeah.
Like I know we're going to talk about Dynamite later, but geez, the pop that he got when his music hit compared to everything else that happened on that show, it's just
people love them some Will Ospreay,
and they should. I mean, he's freaking great,
as they should. Now, I know, I'm pretty sure that you are a big fan of Roddy. I'm not a huge fan. I like what he does. But personally, I don't think Strong is on Will's level.
Oh, no. I mean, Roderick Strong is excellent. He's an outstanding pro wrestler, but not to borrow Will Ospreay's catchphrase, but Will is on another level.
Yeah, he certainly is.
No. Do you remember, real quick aside, do you remember the first time you heard of or saw Will Ospreay?
It was on New Japan, and it was right before he had his injury and had to be stripped of the title.
Okay.
And at the time I was like, he's kind of a douche. But then I saw more matches of his, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah. He plays a douche really well, and to be fair to him, he also basically grew up in the spotlight and had to grow out of some of his more douchey tendencies.
Yeah.
The first time I ever saw him was that pretty famous match he had with Ricochet in Best of Super Juniors from New Japan. I want to say it was 2017. And that was, I just remember watching that because it was getting all this buzz and just being slack-jawed, thinking, holy God, what are these two doing? This is incredible.
I'll have to go back and watch that because I do enjoy watching some Ricochet.
Oh yeah, it's if you go on Ospreay's Twitter feed, he quote tweeted about that match, and he did say he hopes to do it again someday. And please, dear Lord, let that happen. I don't know if somehow on a forbidden door. I don't know if Ricochet just his contract is not renewed and he heads over to AEW. Something.
Yeah, don't go over to the other place and have that match.
No, I mean, though I could see if when Ospreay goes to WWE, which I think eventually will happen, he will be such a huge star. He'll get the Cody treatment and be able to do essentially what he wants, especially with someone like Triple H there, who
I was about to say, I mean, if that were to happen, thank God Vince is not there anymore.
Amen. Hell, soon he might be behind bars, but that's a whole other story.
In any case, I could not see Will in WWE with Vince there.
No, not at all. So this match was fantastic, and Will Ospreay wins. And I just okay. So we'll talk about the oh God, Don Callis, the Callis family situation. Yeah. I want to talk about that when we talk about Dynamite, because it will tie in. So do you have any other thoughts on this match?
It was probably, I'm going through the matches here. This was probably the match of the night.
It was my match of the night. I mean, there was other stuff that I enjoyed.
Yeah. But as far as like technical matches go, this was my match of the night.
Yes. Amen. We then had a trios match.
Well, actually, before the trios match, we had I don't think it's called a vignette. Adam Cole came out and then got attacked by MJF, and MJF is back.
That segment was so good.
It was.
I felt bad because Adam didn't get to do a whole lot, but you could also tell he's not anywhere near 100%.
Yeah, I can't wait to get him back at 100%. AEW is sorely lacking from a empty. It's empty for a lack of Adam Cole.
Adam Cole's one of those guys that will. Okay, this is going to seem like an odd comparison, but hear me out.
Okay,
he reminds me in a lot of ways in his character work to Bret Hart. In that Bret Hart, when he was a heel, you wanted to spit in his face and kick him in the dick every single time, no matter what. But then there's also a part of you that's like, God, just be good. Come on, please be good. We want to like you because you're so good. Adam Cole, same thing. As a heel, you just want to slap him across the face and give him a wedgie.
But you still like him.
Oh, yeah. And then when he's like, he goes good and it's just glorious because you want to cheer for him so badly.
Okay, now on to the match that you were setting up.
Well, real quick, what'd you think of MJF's promo?
Oh, it was great. MJF is all he can bring a promo. No lie.
Yeah, I really liked it. So, but moving on, we had the Trios World Championship match, the Bang Bang Gang. God, that's a terrible name. Jay White, Austin Gunn, and Colton Gunn defeating Death Triangle of Pac, Penta L0. Okay, Pentagon Jr. I'm just going to keep calling him that. I'm sorry. I discovered him in Lucha Underground. He's always Pentagon Jr. to me. And Ray Phoenix. So, of course, okay. Yeah. Well, I mentioned Pac.
Oh, okay.
Or Pac. That was the go home angle with Jay White asking continuously going, is it Pac or Pac? Promo. That was hilarious. So here's something that always I find interesting with Jay White, because it feels like he gets mired down with this trios title and with the guns and everything. But then every single time their music hits, crowds pop big time. People love Jay White.
Oh yeah. I mean, he basically carries that team. That's not. I mean, there's no other.
They're better than I thought they were.
They've gotten better.
Yeah,
they have gotten better. I'm still not a fan of those two guys.
Yeah, no, totally fair. I forget which. They both have very punchable faces.
Yeah. I mean, even their dad punches them. But I mean, really, as a combined unit, if you compare the two, Death Triangle is the better tag team.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And the way they lost was kind of lame.
So. Yeah, with Homeboy coming back.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, just putting it out there. I am not a fan of Juice Robinson.
No. I don't know. You don't like rock hard Juice Robinson?
I do not like Juice Robinson. Haven't liked him since the first time I saw him in New Japan. Just don't like him.
I remember when he was in NXT, and I forget what his name was, but he was basically playing this hippie character, because it was when he still had his dreadlocks, and he was Kevin Owens' first opponent in NXT, and and I want to say he broke Kevin Owens' nose or something like that in that match.
CJ Park.
CJ, yes, yeah, good times.
Yeah.
What was
like him then either?
Yeah, no. So next match we had Timeless Toni Storm defending the AEW Women's World Championship against Serena Deeb. So I'm not a fan of the Timeless gimmick, but this was a pretty good match. I mean, it wasn't great, but
it was not great.
It was better than a lot of other Toni Storm matches have been lately.
It was fine. Yeah, I've really not been shy about the fact that I'm not a fan of Serena. I mean, everybody says she's like one of the best technically speaking. I don't see it. She does nothing for me.
That's fair. Oh, by the way, that trios match, I would have put that on like Dynamite.
Oh yeah, no, that did not need to be a pay-per-view. That was not pay-per-view quality. So yeah, I mean, Toni retains. I was not surprised about that.
I'm just waiting for Mariah May to get her shot at Toni Storm and for them to, blow up, but I also don't care. So
yeah, I mean, Toni Storm is fine, and I don't dislike the gimmick as much as you apparently do, but I mean, it's just like, okay, it's something. It is what it is.
I don't hate it as much as other people do. I just think it's kind of stupid.
I get that. Yeah. But at the same time, I've never been. I wouldn't say I dislike Toni Storm. She is good. She's a good wrestler. I'm just not really a fan.
That's fair.
It's fine. I mean, she's fine. I'll watch her matches, but there are better and more entertaining female wrestlers. I mean, not just in AEW, but anywhere else, really.
Agreed. So I would still leave this one on the pay-per-view because it's their Women's World Championship.
Right.
The next match, we had just a straight singles match. Orange Cassidy defeats Trent Beretta, and this was just a part of their story.
That's exactly what I was going to say. This was a fine match, but the storytelling they're doing here is what's important.
Mm-hmm.
The match was fine. They are solid professional wrestlers, both of them.
Orange Cassidy, I think, is actually pretty good.
He is pretty good. But as a match, it was a solid match, but it was a story that made this worth watching.
Yeah. So, what was not worth watching? the three-way for the FTW championship.
Oh, good God.
The fact that they've got Katsuyori Shibata slumming it doing this stuff. And now they've somehow roped in Samoa Joe to it too. It's like, oh, come on. These people have got other things to be doing.
I think you nailed it on the head. What my biggest beef with this match is that you got, outside of Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson, one of the best wrestlers on the roster, and he's just kind of, as you mentioned, slumming it.
Yeah, and now he can't really do what he did before.
True.
So it's, to me, it's not. I think he should be a bit higher on the card, but honestly, I think they should get rid of the FTW championship. It's not an AEW championship. Yeah. It is, it's Taz's toy. And yeah, Chris Jericho, he won after getting help from the bounty hunter Brian Keith, who's going to be joining his Vortex. Who cares?
And he got help by Big Bill, who ended up getting laid out onto a table by Hook. So that was amusing.
That spot though was scary.
It was,
because the leg of the table didn't like fall over, and it was standing straight up.
Yeah,
and it was like almost right next to Bill's head. I was like, oh, damn.
Fine. So
no, he was fine. It was just, had that been a few inches over to our left, the viewers left, it would have been bad.
Well, really, he won due to the intervention of crap. I can't remember his name now.
Yeah, Brian Keith. Yeah. So
no, it was somebody else. Oh man, what was his freaking name?
Are you talking about the guy who showed up with the mask?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the bounty hunter, Brian Keith.
I thought. Okay, now I'm confused. No, that's not who I'm thinking of, Brian. No, that's not who I'm thinking of. He was. Oh, geez. Okay, now I gotta look it up.
You're talking about the guy who wears the cowboy hat and the.
No. It was a different guy. The guy that came out from under the. Guy that came out from under the mat.
Oh, that was they came through the mat.
Yeah.
No, that's in the Christian. That's in the Edge or Adam Copeland match.
Was it?
Yeah, because that was Gangrel.
Matches.
You're getting matches mixed up.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm looking at my notes, and I've actually got that written down. Okay.
So
I didn't have a name written down for who apparently was with Brian Keith. Okay.
Right. So
I'm getting my matches confused.
And to be fair, we are on from the main show. We're talking about match 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on match 5, and this is already the second match to have outside interference.
Yeah.
Which is a running theme.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. IWGP World Heavyweight Championship Eliminator match. Jon Moxley defeats he defeats Takeshita. I can't pronounce his name. So, okay, when this match was announced, the entire time I'm thinking, there is no way in hell Takeshita wins, because he is a DDT wrestler from Japan. And there is no fucking way New Japan Pro Wrestling is going to let a DDT contracted wrestler pin their world championship.
Right.
Even if Tony was like, please, Moxley's going to be injured and everything. They're going to tell him to go fuck himself. No, that's not going to happen.
I really think these eliminator matches are kind of dumb.
Yeah, it's okay. So I'm going to reiterate something that Joe Lanza has talked about on the Flagship podcast a few times. When there were rankings that were followed, an eliminator match made sense because that could be used as a way to bypass the rankings to do a title match or potentially elevate somebody. But with the rankings not really being around anymore, they make no sense. Also, the word eliminator doesn't, you're earning a title shot by beating the champion. You're not. No one's getting eliminated.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah. And honestly, anytime there's a non-title match and the person who's not the champion wins, they should get a title shot.
Yeah.
Um,
So in my notes for this match, I literally wrote, I don't really have anything else to say about this match.
so because they,
fine.
yeah. And the problem is they did this injury angle beforehand. And so they make Takeshita look like a bum because he can't beat a one-armed guy.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the whole time, one of the things that cracks me up with Jon Moxley matches is almost every time Tony Schiavone at some point says, "What a man." And it's like, Tony, do you need some time alone, sir?
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Yeah. So Jon Moxley won. It was a decent enough match, but it was Takeshita they need to do something with because he is really freaking good. But what, I don't know. But
Yeah, I was going to say he's probably pretty good, but
he is. If you saw that match he had with Will Ospreay, it was fan freaking tastic.
Okay.
All right, then next up we have for the TNT Championship a barbed wire steel cage match. Adam Copeland defeated Malachi Black. Referee stoppage. Malachi Black would not tap out. He just passed out. So,
I have a question about the beginning. Does Adam Copeland always come out to Slayer South of Heaven, or was this a special thing?
No, this was a special thing.
Okay, because that was badass. He should always do that.
Yeah, he I didn't know what that song was, but I did see, The Brood, which apparently he owns the copyright to that or the trademark or whatever. So just like Rated R Superstar, which he owns, so he can take that with him wherever he goes. It's WWE does not own that.
Yeah, that was South of Heaven by Slayer.
Okay.
And yeah.
Yeah.
This was a brutal match, man. It was nasty.
It was. And again, though, this is if you were ending your show with Anarchy in Arena, do we really need a barbed wire steel cage match as well?
Yeah, why would they do that twice?
Right.
This was the one with the intervention by Gangrel.
Yes, he came in after the House of Black got involved, and there was the tease that Buddy Matthews and Brody King were going to join Adam Copeland against Malachi Black, but that was a swerve.
Yeah, I think that was a setup.
You do?
I think they're setting up for them to turn on Malachi.
I could see that maybe.
I could be wrong, but I just have this little feeling that's like,
I wonder it a lot will depend on how much longer Malachi has on his contract.
True.
Because he and Triple H are buddies. So he will probably be WWE bound. I mean, his wife works there. So I could see him Zelina Vega.
Okay.
So I could see him heading back to WWE.
I can see that. So that would be a good reason to set this whole thing up. But I was thinking it would be cool for Copeland to kind of have his own faction again.
Yeah. So the spot of this match is obviously the elbow drop from the top of the cage, which some people say he like halfway through the jump realized, oh shit, I shouldn't do a splash. And transitioned into an elbow drop and landed 90% of his body on the mat.
Yeah. Bad idea.
And he broke his leg and he's all fucked up and he's going to be gone for a while.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Yeah. So, next up we have the in-ring debut of Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks. Okay. So for TBS Championship, her against Willow Nightingale, I thought the match itself was great. whenever you think of Mercedes and her very bad promos, the girl can wrestle.
Okay, I'll give her that. She is a good wrestler. She's just really freaking annoying, and I'm not at all surprised that they let her take the belt from Willow. But if you're asking me, Willow is a lot more entertaining.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, they've got great chemistry, so the match is really good.
Yeah,
but
Mercedes.
Yeah. So my thing with Mercedes, the little dance maneuver she does when CEO comes on her song, it's like, okay, maybe if you did that once or twice, it wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah.
But she does it like 18 times. I'm like, B, stop, please. I can't take it anymore.
Again, annoying. Yeah. She's annoying. Now, the turn by Statlander was kind of surprising.
Yes. I think a lot of people have figured for a while that was coming, but I liked it. I didn't
see it coming, but yeah. I do have a comment that I want to make, not necessarily about the match itself, but I think that the women's division in AEW has improved like tenfold since like the first year.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about it, when they formed the available women, there weren't a ton of them.
Right. And
so,
what they had was just kind of mediocre people. But
yeah, well, you had someone like Britt Baker, who is a phenomenal character and a decent enough wrestler, but her character work is fantastic. Yeah, they have really stepped up the game.
They really have.
Now, so speaking of the women's division, Becky Lynch's contract has expired. She is now technically a free agent. WWE. Right, obviously. But I'm thinking, Tony should try to offer her a big enough check and see if we can get Rebecca Quinn showing up in AEW. I would enjoy the hell out of that.
Yeah, I mean, this division used to be the weakest link in the promotion, but it's in the last year or so, it's just turned into a really solid division.
Agreed. So the next match is for
totally diminished by the entry of Mercedes Moné. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing.
She's probably one of their highest paid people.
Would not doubt it.
Yeah. So next match we have the AEW World Championship. Swerve Strickland defending against Christian Cage. So my first thing with this match is during the entrance and everything, I was like, wow, this crowd is tired. Because they were so you could tell most of these people were like, can we go home now? It's like almost midnight. I'm ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Just get this match more than any other suffered from the length of this show.
Oh yeah. It was fine. I don't have anything extraordinary to say about this match. It was okay.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Christian Cage has been phenomenal in AEW. His mic work is just ridiculous. Swerve, I think, is great. I think he has been a really good world champion so far. Prince Nana is amazing. And I hate to say this, but those few times while he was missing, he was missed. Like every time Swerve would come out and Nana wasn't there to do his dance, I was sad. You
like that dance, do you?
I love that dance. I still, though, nothing will beat when Samoa Joe did that dance in their match, and you just saw him in the background of the way they shot it. Swerve is staggering, and Joe's back there in the corner. He's doing a little dance. That mess was hilarious.
Yeah.
But I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because there's implications from Dynamite about what's going to happen with the world title. So we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
And then we had the Anarchy in the Arena match. The Elite, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, Kazuchika Okada, and Jack Perry defeated Team AEW of Bryan Danielson, Darby Allin, and FTR. This was nuts.
Yeah, that's definitely a word for it.
Did you enjoy it?
Not as much as I should have. At this point, even I was getting a little fatigued.
Oh yeah, it was. By this point of the show, it's just like, okay, come on, I need to go to bed. And I was even watching this in like the next morning is when I watched this part, and even I was like, okay, I'm ready to go back to bed.
See, here's the thing. I with this being the last match of the night, I'm wondering why they didn't do anything here more with the whole Elite versus Tony Khan story arc. Tony was there,
yeah,
and they just this story arc is still ongoing. So Tony does nothing. I don't get it.
Here's my hope with that is, I mean, Jack brought Tony out and then threw him right before he got torched and set afire, which I still can't believe they did a fire spot. That was, wow. It was stupid and awesome all at the same time. But Tony Khan does not need to be an on-screen character because he's terrible at it.
Agreed. But if you're going to start a story involving him, we need an end to that story.
Well, that's continuing because on Dynamite, there was right when the Elite were about to hand Jack Perry the TNT title, Christopher Daniels comes out. He's been made a temporary EVP, and he is basically Tony Khan's mouthpiece.
Right.
And yes, please, because Christopher Daniels rules, and he can talk.
Yeah.
And we don't need Tony Khan on screen anymore because it's obvious over half the time he's high on cocaine, and we don't need to see that. Okay, Tony, put away the white stuff. Get out your notebook that you use to plan, matches, and let's work on that. So, but yeah, I mean, the Elite had to win this, I thought,
and Perry got the win, so it was like that was a little surprising that Perry got the win over Danielson. I was like,
Well,
okay.
I mean, it is being Bryan Danielson's, in theory, last full-time wrestling. He has no problems putting other people over.
Yeah.
And of the Elite, the person who needs to be put over is Jack Perry. I mean, the other three are one of the greatest single wrestlers of all time, easily New Japan's greatest champion ever, and one of the greatest tag teams of all time. So who needs the rub? Not those guys. We need poor, Luke Perry's son. I was trying to think of his name from Beverly Hills 90210. Dylan. We need Dylan's kid needs the rub. So, or I could have, or what was Archie's dad's name on Riverdale?
I actually didn't watch that show. So, I mean, I saw a couple episodes and it was not something I wanted to continue.
Yeah, no, it's the first season's surprisingly good. But Luke Perry on that show, he was great. He was really great. So that was Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing. So overall, thoughts on the pay-per-view. It was too freaking long.
Yes. Number one thought, too long.
Too long. Second thought, not enough pay-per-view caliber matches.
Yes. Yeah. So I would... If I was going to redo this show, I would keep the Anarchy in the Arena. I would keep the Swerve Christian Cage, the Mercedes Willow match. Honestly, I would have done the Adam Copeland Malachi Black match either on a different pay-per-view or on just some other show. That way you're not having barbed wire steel cage the same night as Anarchy in the Arena. The Moxley Takeshita match you could have done anywhere. the Chris Jericho match should just go fall in a hole. Cassie and Trent keep, the Tony Storm, Serena Deeb match keep, and obviously the opener with Will Ospreay and Roderick Strong keep. I think if that was the show, it would have been a whole lot better, and there wouldn't have been people in that arena for 6 hours.
Well, okay, I'm going to go even further and probably get a lot of hate mail on this one, but
we get mail. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No one writes us.
I think AEW needs to scale back to 4 pay-per-views a year.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen.
Back in 2020, it was 2021, they had Revolution, Double or Nothing, All Out, and Full Gear.
Yeah, well, with the addition... go ahead.
They need to space them out.
That I do agree with. I think you cannot get rid of Forbidden Door nor All In. You have to keep those at this point. Especially All In, if it's going to be a thing like overseas every year, either in Wembley or some other big-ass stadium in Europe, then yes, that has to stay.
If you're going to do that, it needs to not be so close to All Out.
Right. That's why, I mean, they've moved All Out this year, so it's now 2 weeks away instead of 1, which is still too damn close.
Yeah.
But I agree. I understand why they're doing it, that it financially it behooves them to do that, to have more pay-per-views, but it is what it is. As long as
what's weird about All Out this year is that it is not on Labor Day weekend, which it's always been on Labor Day weekend. I would have moved All In instead of moving All Out.
The thing, though, All In that weekend in the UK is a big holiday weekend. It's like a Labor Day size holiday weekend. Gotcha. So doing it there makes, at this point, that makes a whole lot more sense than whatever you're going to do in whatever arena in Chicago for All Out, because you will make a ton more money at Wembley Stadium every single year.
Sure.
And it just from a spectacle standpoint, that show, even if it's, if they don't sell another ticket between now and showtime, they've still got over 40,000 tickets out, which is bonkers. And it's going to look great the way they're going to film it. That place is going to be packed. It's going to be loud. Yeah, no, you don't. You move everything else around All In. That's what needs to be.
All right, I'll give them that.
Yeah,
it's just weird to not have it on Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, but it's also nice to have a promotion try to not be so we have to do everything around America's schedule, and
sure.
And let's do something around some of our other fans' schedules.
Okay, I'll buy that.
Yeah,
but still, do we need to have 12 pay-per-views a year?
No, we don't need that from WWE. We don't need that from AEW. We don't need that from anybody. Maybe, yeah. How about we do 6? 6, 8 at the most.
One every other month?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll buy that one.
Yeah. Well, buy. Like either of us actually buy these. But no, I mean, totally. So, the follow-up to this pay-per-view was this week's Dynamite. Mm-hmm. And really there's pretty much one thing to talk about. And
that is true.
That is the main event, though we did get Mercedes in her Dynamite in-ring debut, so that was kind of cool. And we got Orange Cassidy turning down Don Callis, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was cool. But we got more about Statlander's heel turn.
Yes, yeah, and her backstage promo was really good.
Yeah, we got the Christopher Daniels spot.
Yes, that was good.
We got the spot with okay, so I don't know anything about Stephanie Vacquez. Is that her name?
Vaquer, I think is how it's pronounced.
Something like that. I don't know anything about her, but just based off the little clips that they showed, I think she's going to be a pretty good addition to the roster.
Oh yeah, she is. I also don't know much, if anything, about her, but she apparently is a huge star in Mexico.
Yeah.
Huge.
And see, all of the matches or events that I've seen from the Mexican leagues are all really good.
Oh yeah, Mexico knows how to wrestle.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, lucha libre is a thing, and
yeah, yeah.
it's great.
Like when Justin was doing the show with me, we actually did a recap of one of their events. I'm trying to remember which one it was. Oh, it was Terminus. No, wait a minute. That's not. Shit, I don't remember which one it was.
Was
Oh,
this
it was AAA, Triple Mania Regia.
AAA is such? It's just insane, and like kind of not in a good way. Nothing makes a lick of sense in
The,
AAA.
the event was great. It was
There's
from 2021.
Yeah, their shows are always fun. It's just none of it makes sense at all. It's so
But the
wacky.
matches,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Mexico has produced some of the best wrestlers of all time.
yeah.
Um,
So, any case, I don't know anything about her, but I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do.
yeah, me too.
Kind of reminds me of Diamante.
Okay. I'm blanking, but
I am pretty sure that um she's still with DM with I think she's still with AEW, but I haven't seen her. Maybe she's more
Ring of Honor.
on Ring of Honor. Yeah,
Yeah.
she has been on AEW because I've seen her in matches. She debuted in 2020.
Oh, okay.
And she had a match against at the time she was women's champion Hikaru Shida. It was a non-title match, but she had a match with her that was, if I remember correctly, it was pretty good. But I think she's probably spending more time on Ring of Honor, so maybe that's why we're not seeing her as much. But I like her. I like Diamante.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to this match at Forbidden Door with Mercedes and Miss Fakour. I think that's going to be great. As I know, I botched her name. Okay, so back to Dynamite. The main event was a gauntlet match for a shot at the AEW World Championship at Forbidden Door.
Forbidden Door.
Potentially up to 21 people could have been involved, and it's whoever gets the first pin or submission wins. And holy God, this thing was fun. This match was so good, and there was not a single jobber or jag, nothing. It was all serious people.
And then Leo Rush shows up.
Yeah,
like, wait, what?
And then you watch him and you're like, oh yeah, this guy is fucking amazing. And yeah, but again, who got the biggest pop of the night? Will Ospreay.
Yep.
And so I was not expecting him to be the challenger at Forbidden Door. I figured he would be at All In at Wembley.
Yeah.
So here are my couple of theories of the way this can go. I foresee a couple of different potential outcomes at Forbidden Door. One, the obvious one is Will Ospreay beats Swerve Strickland, becomes the new champion. He is the hottest thing in the promotion. Mm-hmm. It would make sense to belt him up and send him to defend at Wembley. The other thing that I could see happening is that he loses with shenanigans from the Don Callis family, and that's finally his falling out with the Don Callis family. He then goes into the Owen Hart Memorial Tournament, wins, and there is the rematch with Swerve at Wembley where he wins the title.
Wins at home, yeah.
Yeah. Or the two of them have a hard fought match and Swerve barely wins and then goes back through, does the tournament, wins the Owen Hart tournament, and goes to Wembley and beats Swerve Strickland and wins it. I mean, I think no matter what, you're going to get Ospreay in the world title match at Wembley, headlining that show. Whether he is challenging or defending, I don't know. I'd rather him be challenging, and it would actually be a nice feather in the cap of Swerve to be the first person to hand Ospreay a defeat in AEW.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you got Will as champion, who can take him? I mean,
hold on, as I try to do something else. Joe Lanza suggested that he could defend against Bryan Danielson. And I'm like, oh, yes, I will happily take another Bryan Danielson Will Ospreay match. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I mean, you could do a rematch with Swerve. But honestly, I think the best way to do it is to have Swerve win, have Ospreay go through the tournament, win that, and then challenge one more time at Wembley and win.
I'll say that. And then after that, who can take him?
I mean, for now, I say you keep the belt on him for a long time.
Yeah, he's gonna be champion for a while if that happens.
Yeah, I mean, maybe at some point MJF challenges him, and you have arguably the two biggest stars in the company go head to head. But I don't know. I'm not thinking that far ahead. I know that this match on Dynamite is well worth going out of your way to find. It was so much fun. You had people from New Japan, you had CMLL guys, you had Claudio was in there. It was fantastic. I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, good stuff.
Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
No, that's it. I mean, we had a really long pay-per-view that had really one excellent match, and the rest were just filler. I don't know what else to say about them.
Fair. I mean, and the reality is, no one, when they think back on Double or Nothing 2024, I think the things that are going to be remembered are it was too fucking long. Adam Copeland broke his leg, and Will Ospreay had an awesome match.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say.
I don't either. We keep it short and sweet, much better than that pay-per-view.
Yeah, no doubt. So I guess the next time we plan to meet will be after Forbidden Door, which is on June 30th.
And we'll try better to actually record the day after the show this time.
Possibly. Well, yeah, the problem with this is my weekend was very busy and I did not watch the pay-per-view on the day of the pay-per-view.
Oh no, it's okay. The problem was I forgot a lot of stuff and I did not take notes when I was watching the show because I was just
that's what I did. I took my notes while I was watching, but
no one cares how the cookie is made.
Yeah, otherwise I would have forgot everything and been like, yeah, I don't remember this match. Nope, don't remember this match. Nope, don't remember this match.
Because that's honestly how memorable most of them were, sadly.
Pretty much. All right, well, good times. Thanks for listening, everybody. And be back for the next time when we do a recap of Forbidden Door. Later.